And it's been a while since I've spoken and had a few chi moments of public. So, openly speaking about many things that are happening in the world currently, we'll be here for a long time to speak on topics that are coming up in the more areas of more minded people, in areas that are, in some say, expanding or reaching an enlightened moment. I will try to get to a particular point. No matter where we are in our life, here, as we're going through our life, this is how we see it. But as we're here going to go through our life, we come here at one point to another. We can see forward and back from where we are, ATM. Some people like to believe we have lineal minds. Most of us do. That is where we are at this present time. It does not mean your subconscious mind, your more opened eye, which works in conjunction with your heart. If you have learned medical, you know that your heart has actual brain matter around it. But we won't go into biology. We'll try to summarize this. Many people will do this in their life, and each time as they go round, you will learn something more. Eventually, people wake up to this. Let me elaborate. We have 7 days in a week. We circle back around. We have routine. This routine causes an effect. How we live. We like routines to keep through our life. Monday to Sunday. Most people on Sunday will only eat fish due to religious reasons. I respect that. I am a religious person myself. How could I not be religious if I did not believe in spiritual energy? Chi, Yi, as some say. Do I believe in science as well? Yes, I do. Science itself has proven, if those want to believe or not, do your own research. There are more planets in our solar system. There are more solar systems in our galaxy. There are more galaxies in our universe. There are more universes within the larger frame of mind. I only know where we are at science today. So, back to here. This is how we perceive it. This is where we are. This is where some are. We get glimpses of this, get scared, come back here. While others here are trying to help. These people do not want help, want to work it out on themselves, or go into shock, or are trying to get here, but haven't quite worked out the ways to get here yet. Mostly people are here. There are a lot here as well. You might be thinking, why does Trish speak in this sort of fashion or manner? Well, as we all know, I am slightly gender fluid occasionally. In these moments of time, the spectrum is a bit more open. So, people in this area will understand as we transition from one spectrum to another. We already have a capability of spectrum. Since we are here, going through our lifetime, and we will eventually be here. We have already achieved where we will be. How does the standard mind work? We all know that, don't we? I'll leave that for you. Lineal minds, if you would like to go into it, will have more than one capable thought. If you know anything about dyslexic, well, we have a joke. Most normal people, how they think and speak. I can picture image. I can make a football team up there and have a conversation with myself and then go back to this. You can be this, and you can be this, and you can be this, and you can be this. But if you try to be more than this while you're here, you will never make it here, or with great difficulty and pain and suffering. That is no doubt. As we all know, I've had massive vocal damage, and as I get older, my vocals are becoming less higher toned, unfortunately. This has nothing to do with my gender fluidness. To use my higher notes remains still quite painful, but I can still do it if I wish. But at this moment in time, I'll just speak how the doctors tell me to speak, and save what is left of my voice, to the point that was for others evaluating me currently. This is difficult, yes. Spikes. Always. As many know around the world. This is not new knowledge. For some it is new knowledge from where they are. So you've had a lifetime. You're a very competent and aware person in your fields. You know what you know. You still don't know everything. Do I know everything? No. I know enough to know you will always learn until we reach that point of a higher level. Down here, 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 here. And that is how I have to say it. It sounds a little philosophical, or however you pronounce that name. A part of dyslexia is pronunciation, not for all: reading, writing, hearing, many different things. We have to fight through a lot, but there's always another way. When you lose your sight, your ears become more alert. When you lose your ears, your smell and eyes become more sharper. When you have dyslexia that shuts down motory functions, you lose all different things, yes? Sometimes I go blind even, or deaf, or I can't speak, or I sound like a retard. Does not mean I am a retard. It just means at this moment, them functions have been taken from me. I'm on a pension for neural dyslexia, high grade plus nerve damage. I might buy. But, all in all, if you stay a rock, then a rock cannot see. To become a rock when you need to not be shaken is a skill, but when you do not need to be shaken or are not being shaken, then you do not need to be a rock. Sometimes the human mind works out that it has two hemispheres connected by a neural tongue. There have been actual governments that have actually done operations on major people that have had seizures to stop them dying, as they're having seizures over 18 to 24 hours a day. At this ratio, the brain will shatter and die. I have psychological seizures sometimes. I've not really had a physiological, epileptic fit. I'm not an epileptic. It's different. And what I've learnt with all this is very, very simple. Don't push yourself. Don't use all your capabilities and skills. Do not always be this. one rock and looking from one side, while still having wisdom of this side in moving in conjunction. You can still be here and here, depending where you're looking from. I'll leave that be at this moment in time and allow those who understand or are starting to understand be more aware. And yes, I do speak encryptively, because when you get to these higher levels, it is hard to put it with English, as well as hard to speak in any language. Whilst you have neurodyslexia, having to double think yourself, not just to talk. Do I take breaths? Very often. But it does not mean you judge a book by its cover. And remember, no matter how high up you are, you still learn.